Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So Representative John Larson recently reintroduced his bill called the Social Security 2100 Act. And in this bill, it would raise benefits for everyone. And for some beneficiaries, it would actually raise benefits by as much as $485 every single month. So we're going to be listening to his argument on why obviously his bill should pass. And then we're also going to be looking at a counter argument from the Heritage Foundation on why this bill may not actually be the most intelligent one to pass. Plus, we're going to be going over why some beneficiaries of Social Security are actually going to be receiving their second payment, 2 payments in total in June, rather than just the one that they usually get. We're going to be going over who those recipients are, when they're going to be receiving it, and again, why they're going to be receiving 2 payments this month instead of just 1. But before I go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, so once again, John Larson did recently reintroduce his bill called the Social Security 2100 Act, and for some people, it would actually raise benefits by as much as $485 every single month. And that's going to be going to around 5 million Americans in total receiving benefits. So obviously Larson thinks this bill is good, otherwise he wouldn't have actually released it himself. But we're going to be taking a quick look at why he believes this bill should pass in a quick clip, and then we're going to come back to talk about it.
1971 was the last time that Congress did anything to enhance Social Security benefits. A gallon of milk was 72 cents at that time. A lot has changed since 1971, but what hasn't changed is Congress's recalcitrance to address the needs of our seniors. Social Security is the #1 anti-poverty program for seniors and the #1 anti-poverty program for children. And yet, there are 5 million Americans currently who get below poverty level checks from the federal government, having paid all of their lives into a system. And the only reason that's so is because Congress hasn't acted. It's long overdue for Congress to act. We have legislation that we'll be introducing in the Ways and Means Committee that will enhance Social Security. Across the board increases for everyone, lift people out of poverty, provide every single district with economic recovery. Why? Because on average, there's 145,000 people per congressional district who are on Social Security. And that money is spent right back in that congressional district. People are not buying back stock options with their Social Security checks. They're spending it at the grocery store. They're spending it on rent. They're spending it on prescription drugs. That's what's needed. It's long overdue for Congress to act. It's not simply a question of protecting or saving Social Security. It's doing something to end this crisis in the midst of the worst pandemic, in the midst of inflation, in the midst of a supply chain issue, to make sure that our elderly and our people are being protected.
So obviously this bill would help out a lot of people, and as he mentions, there are 145,000 people per congressional district who receive these benefits. So this would help out a good bit of people. And again, a $485 increase for some people, and then of course a significant increase for a lot of others. This would help out a lot of people as well. And as we mentioned on this channel, this bill would do a whole lot more than that. So in total, it would increase benefits for all beneficiaries by an average of 2% to make up for inadequate cost of living adjustments since 1983. And as we previewed in another video, since the year of 2000, we've actually had a 36% loss of buying power because COLAs have not kept up with what the actual rate of inflation has been. Even though COLAs have supposed to, over the years, keep up with inflation, it hasn't really done exactly that. Now, in addition to that, they would actually change the COLA formula over to the CPIE method, which would result in higher COLAs every single year on average. It would also increase the special minimum benefit to 25% above the federal poverty line. That would result in a close to $500 increase for around 5 million Americans, and a pretty significant increase for others as well. It would also end the 5-month waiting period to receive disability benefits, provide caregiver credits towards Social Security wages. So if you have to take maybe a year off to raise your baby, you would not lose credits towards Social Security because you had to take time off of work. And then, of course, this bill would do a lot more as well. So obviously this bill has a lot of things going for it, but there is a counter argument coming from the Heritage Foundation on why this bill may not actually be perfect. So we're going to be quickly detailing that as well. And they actually do bring up one pretty good argument, and I think we should listen to it very carefully. So again, this is from the Heritage Foundation. So Representative Larson recently introduced the Social Security 2100 Act, which seeks to make the program solvent over the next 75 years. There are many problems with this bill. However, as the solvency comes at the cost of broadening Social Security size and scope, raising taxes on all workers, and leaving them with less money to meet their daily needs. Workers will have, for instance, less money to buy a home, pay for childcare in college, or save for retirement. The Social Security 2100 Act would raise payroll taxes by almost 20% for most workers by increasing the current 12.4% tax to 14.8% by 2043. Once fully phased in, the higher payroll taxes would require an average worker with an annual salary of $50,000 to pay an extra $1,200 per year. That is equivalent to a month's rent, 3 months worth of groceries, or an entire year's worth of gas for a typical worker. In total, this worker's annual Social Security tax bill would be $7,400. Including Medicare taxes would bring an average earner's payroll tax bill to $8,400, which does not include federal and state income taxes. The Social Security 2100 Act would increase benefits for all Social Security recipients, including current retirees who would receive larger cost of living adjustments over time as a result of a higher minimum benefit, an increase in their replacement rate formula, and a larger COLA. The average individual who retires in 2020 or later would receive $71,000 more in Social Security benefits throughout his lifetime. So obviously you would think this would be a good thing, receiving around $71,000 more. And of course, people who receive the special minimum benefit, they would receive a boost. So this is all great, right? But now we're going to be looking at the argument on why this bill may not actually be the best for one specific group who receives perhaps the most money. So all income groups would receive higher benefits, but the highest income earners would receive some of the largest benefit increases. A worker with average earnings of $30,000 would receive $333 more per year, while someone with average earnings of $1 million would receive $12,333 more per year. Taxpayers cannot afford benefit increases for everyone, particularly for middle income and higher income earners. It is these types of unnecessary expansions that have caused Social Security to consume 24% of the entire U.S. budget today. The Social Security 2100 Act would only exacerbate Social Security's drain on the budget by increasing its cost as a percentage of gross domestic product by 39% in the long run. Raising taxes is not the only way to make Social Security solvent. A separate bill introduced by now retired Representative Sam Johnson took a very different approach to making Social Security solvent in the long run. The Social Security Reform Act of 2016 would have increased benefits for individuals who need them the most, reduced benefits for middle income and upper income earners, and modernized the program through increases in the eligibility age and the use of more accurate inflation adjustments. To preserve and improve Social Security, focusing on its social welfare function, policymakers should reduce benefits for wealthier individuals who need them the least, increase benefits for those who need them the most, and modernize the program. So I definitely think they make at least a pretty good point there that someone who makes $1 million per year would be receiving over $12,000 more per year in Social Security benefits. Now, I'm pretty sure someone who earned an average of $1 million per year probably won't even need Social Security in general. They probably have a good amount of savings racked up and probably some pretty good businesses to fall back on during retirement. Plus, they probably have maxed out their IRAs throughout their years and probably have a hefty amount of money sitting in different retirement accounts, whether it be a Roth, whether it be like a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, or perhaps a 401k. I'm sure they're doing pretty well for themselves. So should we be giving $12,000 more per year to millionaires, whereas we're just giving, let's say, like another $333 more per month or something like that to someone who earns just, like an average salary? It just doesn't make a whole lot more sense to me. So what they're saying here is if we're giving less money to those who are millionaires who probably don't even need Social Security at all, and we're giving less to people who earn like an average wage or below average wage, shouldn't we instead be giving more to people who earn average wages or below average wages and less to these extremely wealthy individuals? I think that makes sense. So I think John Larson has a pretty good bill, but perhaps we should be giving less to extremely wealthy individuals who probably don't even need Social Security. Would it be unfair to them? Perhaps they wouldn't like it, but again, they probably really don't need that money. But I would love to hear your thoughts and comments below on that. What do you think about John Larson's bill? And what do you think about perhaps giving less to the extremely wealthy individuals, people who are earning, let's say, over $1 million per year and probably don't need Social Security? Would love to hear your thoughts and comments below. Now, of course, in just 10 days, there are going to be some beneficiaries of Social Security receiving their second payment this month. Now, usually we would just be receiving one check per month. That's usually how it goes. But one group of Social Security beneficiaries actually received 2 payments in the month of June. That's going to be coming in just 10 days on June 30th. And those people are going to be SSI recipients. Now, the only reason that SSI recipients are going to be receiving 2 checks in the month of June is that the second check on June 30th in just 10 days is actually going to be your July payment. Now, the reason you're receiving it in June instead of in July is the fact that July 1st falls on a Saturday, and anytime the first of a month falls on a weekend or a holiday, you're going to be getting that payment just a little bit earlier. So we can see the payment schedule up on the screen there. We can see again, June 1st, you would have received your first payment for SSI, and then again in 10 days on June 30th, that's going to be the second payment. Then you can see in July, there's not going to be a single payment at all. That's because, again, your July payment is simply the payment that you're going to be receiving on June 30th. So don't go out and spend that money a little bit earlier thinking it's going to be some type of bonus payment, because there's not going to be coming anything until August 1st. And then again, in September, there's going to be 2 payments in the month of September as well for SSI recipients. It's going to be September 1st and September 29th. But that's all the news that we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.